Sanitar is the new guy, the most recently added scav boss in Escape From Tarkov. Today I'll be equipping you with the knowledge you need to take him down. I'm Gaz, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here and like the video if you find it helpful. Sanitar is a really interesting boss. Both he and his followers are obsessed with medication and will use this to their advantage. Sanitar himself is somewhat scared of direct confrontation, usually choosing to flee a direct battle and allow his followers to deal with the threat head on, while he pops stims ready for a fight. Sanitar spawns on the Shoreline map in Escape From Tarkov. Currently, he has around a 35% chance of spawning on the map, flanked by 2 followers in any given raid here. His followers wear an assortment of gear but can usually be easily identified as heavily armed scavs. Sanitar himself is easily identified with his blue jacket, med bag, backpack, and, similarly to Rishala, complete lack of armour. As mentioned before, Sanitar can spawn in one of 3 locations in Shoreline. These locations include the pier, where he can usually be found hovering around the entrance as you come off the road. He and his followers will make use of the buildings here to zip in and out of cover, making it hard to get a shot off. The cottages and construction site, where he and his followers can patrol pretty much the entire perimeter. Once again, Sanitar and his followers use the buildings, greenhouses, bushes and even external fences to try and flank, catching players off guard. Cottages is one of the more dangerous areas to fight Sanitar. Finally, he can be found at Resort, on the ground floors of either the west or east wings, though I personally have found him wandering around between these buildings in the courtyard, so beware of that. While it's much easier to fight Sanitar and his followers here, there is always a real risk that other PMCs and scavs will ambush you if you're not very careful. In terms of AI, these are some of the most unique fights in the game. Sanitar is very jumpy and will not fight you if he thinks he's at a strong disadvantage. I've often found that if I land a shot on Sanitar, he will up and sprint a long way away in an attempt to heal up while his followers take the aggro. When this happens, his followers become much more aggressive and will use stims, throw grenades, and try to catch the player off guard by rushing them. It's never a great idea to let Sanitar's followers get Pika's advantage on you, as they are laser accurate and will likely kill you before you even realise they're in front of you. Sanitar and his followers are much beefier than other scavs and PMCs when it comes to their health pools. Sanitar himself has 1270 hit points spread over his body as follows: 70 on his head, 360 on his thorax, 140 on his stomach, 120 on each arm, and 230 on each leg. He is currently the scav boss with the most health in the game. This, and the fact that he liberally uses meds, makes up for his lack of armour. His followers have 1055 hit points spread over their bodies as follows: 55 on their head, 200 on the thorax, 180 on the stomach, 140 on each arm and 170 on each leg. These guys are super tanky too, on top of the fact that they can actually spawn with class 5 armors. Often his followers will be harder to kill than Sanitar himself. If you've managed to kill Sanitar and his 2 followers, and can loot them safely, here's what you might find on their bodies. Keep in mind that these are not guaranteed spawns and each kill could look slightly different when it comes to loot. But first, if you haven't already, why not click subscribe and like the video? It's free and lets me know you're enjoying this content. I make Tarkov videos just like this one every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so stick around. Thanks for the support. For weapons, Sanitar can spawn with an OP-SKS, VSS, 870 shotgun, PP91 Kedr, APS pistol, and some grenades. These weapons are generally heavily modded. Sanitar will always spawn with his signature backpack, the Sanitar bag. He also has a small chance to spawn wearing a Razor headset. But when you kill Sanitar, the main loot you'll be interested in is the items, which can include Grizzly kits, Serv 12 kits, CMS kits, Morphine, Mule, Abdul Boss, P22, Meldonin, and AHF1 stims, Labs blue keycards, keycards with blue marking, and the key with tape. The loot table for Sanitar's followers is much broader. For weapons, they can spawn with the Vepr Hunters, Saiga 12 shotguns, Vepr KMs, AKMs, AKS-74 UBs, and an assortment of grenades. Again, these weapons are usually quite heavily modded. For headwear, you're looking at the Emacom cap, with an armor class of 0, Sphera S, class 3, Altins, class 5, LSHZ 2D TMs, Class 4, ZSHs, Class 4, and Highcom Striker ACHHC, Class 4. Sometimes these helmets will also have their corresponding visors attached. An assortment of face coverings, including the Momex Smoke Balaclava and Pestily Plague Mask. Chest armors include the Fort Defender, Class 5, Fort Redut, Class 5, Gazelle, Class 5, Corund, Class 5, and the Karasa, Class 3. For chest rigs, they can spawn with Tritons, Wartech gear rigs, and Tarzans. When it comes to backpacks, there are more options here, with the potential of Attack 2, Beta 2, Field Medpack, Berkut, and Duffle bags. And finally, for items, we have IFAKs, morphine, and a wide variety of stims including L1, 3-BTG, ETG-C, Meldonin, Adrenaline, P22, and the Obdolbos cocktail. Sanitar and his followers are definitely worth hunting if you're heading into Shoreline. There are a couple of quests that will take you directly through the locations that Sanitar can spawn, so odds are you'll run into him eventually, and it can be quite profitable to take him down. A huge difference between Sanitar and pretty much any other boss in the game is that both he and his followers will use the med items they spawn with, either to pre-med or heal up during a fight. A key element of making as much money as you can when fighting Sanitar is to kill him and his followers before they use the majority of these stims, as then you'll be able to loot them and sell them. I love this dynamic, and I hope BSG design future scav bosses with similar ideas in mind. Like every boss fight in the game, there are always a great number of ways you can tackle your fights with Sanitar, whether you choose to snipe him off from afar, throw grenades and push, or clear every corner slowly until you give him nowhere to run. You'll learn something new about this engagement every time. So go out there and put an end to this road doctor for good. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.